Texas lawmakers are looking to better protect child sex abuse victims. They're focusing on non-disclosure agreements and settlements.
We know that child sexual abuse is at epidemic levels.
3 new bills aimed at giving a voice back to victims of child sexual abuse are now filed with the Missouri Senate.
In states like Missouri, NDAs are often being misused in civil courts to silence victims of childhood sexual abuse and trafficking.
Non-disclosure agreements are legal mechanisms that were created to protect trade secrets, not trauma secrets.
It's no exaggeration for me to claim this as a matter of life and death.
Trey's law is named for Trey Carlock, a victim of child sexual abuse who signed an NDA in a civil settlement.
He was groomed and abused from age 7 to 17 by a serial sex offender who was sentenced to 3 life terms in 2010.
Trey Carlock was sexually abused for years at Kanakuk Christian Sports Camp. After his abuser was convicted, Carlock entered into a civil settlement agreement, which required him to sign an NDA.
My brother referred to his settlement cash as blood money, as if he had betrayed his own soul to keep Kanakuk secrets.
Children are unable to fully heal until they get their voices back. Non-disclosure agreements reinforce the offender's power.
He hesitated even to tell his story in confidential therapeutic settings for fear that Kanakuk would come after him again like they did in earlier John Doe. My brother told a therapist just before he died by suicide that they would always control him and he would never be free.
To honor her brother, Philip spent the past several years advocating for new legislation to protect survivors of child sexual assault.
Hey, Team Justice, this takes a village.
After we refused to sign the NDA, Kanakuk came after us. They filed motion after motion in federal courts attempting to force us into silence, to bury the truth beneath legal threats and financial ruin.
Shame thrives in secrecy. Sharing breaks the silence, dissolves the lie that I am alone, and transforms pain into power.
My son was sexually abused at the hands of our church leaders in a campus ministry.
I was sexually abused by my church's scoutmaster when I was 12 to 15 years old.
At the age of 15, I was introduced to a man who was a pedophile. Little did I know this man was already working alongside a college ministry called Chi Alpha and the Assemblies of God Church. This man would eventually begin molesting me. This continued until I was the age of 24.
When we pursued civil litigation, we were stuck there for 12 hours and a non-disclosure agreement was weaponized against us.
I was not the only one that was abused. My dad told kids that they had to be quiet, that they had to be secret. NDAs like this really ends up aligning themselves with the perpetrators.
I was one of the first victims to come publicly forward in 2023, and we ended up finding over 40 victims. We then all watched in horror as NDAs were used to insulate the organizational leadership. The majority of these men also will never see justice because they were technically adults when it happened because they were college students.
Cindy Clemishire also testified in front of state lawmakers.
Because I refused to sign that NDA, I am able to sit here today and share my story in hopes of helping others.
Clemishire's allegations that Gateway Church founder and pastor Robert Morris abused her in Oklahoma when she was 12 years old not only led to his downfall last summer, it also resulted in criminal charges this week.
When NDAs are used to silence victims, we are not protecting families, we are protecting the people destroying them.
My request today is, of course, that we pass Trey's law for children and adults, because I am in both of those categories.
Sexual predators should not be protected by NDAs and statute of limitations, and survivors should not be silenced.
The culture of silencing victims must change in the state of Texas.
It is institutional abuse on top of sexual abuse.
Kanakuk won't come clean, and we're not giving them any more chances. We're going to change the law. Yay! Governor Kehoe has signed Trey's law into law in Missouri.
There have been 31 ayes and 0 nays. The bill is finally passed.
The bill passed the House unanimously.
Show the Speaker voting aye. 144 ayes, 0 nays. Senate Bill 835 is finally passed.
Non-disclosure agreements will be unenforceable in sexual abuse settlements.
Se aprobó por unanimidad la histórica ley Trey.
Silence is no longer for sale in the state of Texas.